Hey guys, this is Scott from Get 10,000 Fans, and thanks for joining us today. We have a really awesome guest, a good friend of ours, Jeff Moore from WildThingsSeafood.com. So Jeff, thanks for hopping on.
My pleasure, man.
Nice. So Jeff is joining us from the West Coast, Orange County based, and Jeff runs Wild Things Seafood, like I said before, and you guys are shipping high quality stuff all over the planet, right, Jeff? And give us a quick rundown of what you guys do.
Seafood and steaks and grass-fed beef and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, so we were talking, one of the things that we were talking with Jeff about, right, is what they're doing is pretty unique in their space. Now they're selling physical products, but not only just physical stuff that they have to ship all over the world, but you're talking about perishable stuff. You know, this is time sensitive. You guys got to get it places. So this is real business, real overhead kind of stuff. And so we wanted to get Jeff on because he's doing something pretty freaking unique. Jeff, we've been talking with a lot of people who are watching this or going through our fan page funnel course, and we just wanted to get you on and have you talk real quick about what you're doing with your online sales, right? With your customers, with new leads and stuff like that, in kind of a physical market. A lot of people are saying, just kind of stuff work for physical products and on down that stretch. And so basically we're just going to turn the mic over. I'm going to sit back and cross my arms and let you talk about what you do best.
Cool. Well, yeah, Wild Things Seafood is a division of our parent company, which is International Pacific Seafoods. Primarily, we sell to the food service world, which is through major distributors like Cisco, U.S. Food Service, and the like, but have contracts with Cheesecake Factory and BJ's Restaurants and chains all the way across the country.
Small, little tiny businesses, yeah.
Little tiny businesses, regional chains, and we've got great relationships. Food service business. I'm actually fourth generation food service. So
there you go.
Southern California. So we've been around for a little while, and we've owned this company since 1999. But back in 2009, we started a direct to consumer, an online business. Really started as a warehouse sale and doing them like every other week type thing. And now they're every month. And we started an online business as well. And I couldn't believe that, when we were going out for this thing, that Wild Things Seafood was not taken,
a great URL. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I know that people squat on these types of things, and I thought that was pretty amazing. So, so we started this thing. It was still primarily the warehouse sale, and we had a website and we were doing some stuff, but not until I actually met your brother a couple of years ago at a function, a mastermind, and spent like 3 days with him, did I start really identifying how the engagement on Facebook was something that we could do not only effectively, but cost effectively as well. And, I understand, I was looking around and I'm looking around this room and everybody's either a service industry or an info product or some combination of those. And I'm like, man, I'm the hard goods guy. How does this work? And Brian was actually really good at saying, look, I've known you now for 3 days. I know your personality. I know how gregarious you are. He goes, you need to think about this as just being able to have a one-on-one conversation thousands of times.
Absolutely. Yep.
The same person you are delivering it, and understand that who you're delivering it to is me or a friend of yours or something, and just keep going that way. And I was like, wow. And then he showed me a few things, like over lunch was like showing me how to, do ads and segment my audience. And I mean, just freakishly, for me, it was like completely, from a different planet, but,
right.
And he was just doing it so easily. But so we started to do that and engage with our customers that way. And we would do these, I started off like right when I came back from meeting Brian, we had a warehouse sale like a couple weeks later, and we did a funnel, a kind of a Facebook ad campaign with a little bit of a funnel in it. And, we had something like 1.1 million impressions in the deal. And it was just some ridiculously low price of all these things, 500 clicks. And I think the thing cost us maybe, I don't know, I think the whole campaign was like $360 or something like that. It was just, it was, just for screwing around. And I probably wasn't doing it all right, but it was really cool. And we were engaging. And so I really kind of saw that was a cool option. And so we kept going, and I learned, from Jay Abraham and Dean Jackson and a lot of my mentors that, performance in advance, give stuff away for free. Well, hey, that's one thing when you're giving an info product away
right.
for free.
Yeah.
Right? But
when you've got margins,
goods away for free. And so what I did is I really had to go back and identify, hey, as a hard goods guy. So if I'm talking to anybody in here that's like a hard goods person, that you've got physical goods that are costing you incrementally every time you walk out. You push this out, you might sell it for $100, but it's going to cost you $40, or it's costing you some amount of money. So you're into it for $40. And so what I had to do is say, hey, what is the annual value of a customer? What is that? What does that customer buy once they buy? And so I recognize that per purchase, my average customer was purchasing $119 worth of product. And so I said, okay, cool. We're going to start this thing, and we're going to set up this website, and we're going to start this funnel campaign that is giving away free seafood and steaks, like $30 with free shipping. And so we did that. And boy, obviously free stuff sells better than anything, right?
You're taking a risk. You're walking out there, yeah.
Free food sells faster than really anything, except stuff that I wouldn't say here. And so we just killed it, and we had a campaign that would literally go from, you put your name and email here, and this is what's going to happen, and here's a code, and here's what's going to do. And we only had a certain amount of codes every day. But even like if you ordered from us, and you got the free thing, part of the follow-up funnel was like this immediate engagement thing. And you and I were talking about it. For me, I see all these online companies that sell hard goods, and every email that they send me is buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff.
Over and over again.
Here's a deal. Here's a deal. Here's a deal. It's like my wife coming home from shopping during the day saying, I saved you so much money today. It's like, dude,
the credit card statement would beg to differ. Yeah.
Right. And so it was like, there's less in the account now than there was 3 days a day. So
saving what exactly?
She's actually really good with that, but
okay.
So don't really. But so it was kind of this thing about, God, everybody keeps doing that. And so I likened it to the fact that Brian was saying, just have a conversation with your customer.
Bingo.
And if I went to a party and I saw you on a Friday and I said, hey man, you got to buy my steaks and my seafood. And you're like, yeah, I will. Yeah, cool. I really like your stuff. Cool. Okay. And then I see you on Sunday again. I'm like, Scott, you got to buy my stuff, man. You got to buy me. After a while, you're going to see me, right? It's like Pavlovian. You're going to go,
I'm going to cross the street. Yeah.
It's going to be like the holy, get away from me type thing. And so all of our funnels have to do with literally engaging and just having a conversation with them.
Definitely.
And oh, by the way, yeah, there's an offer. There's some things in there, but it's wrapped around this conversation. And literally when we're making an offer, we're making that offer at that point when the person says, how can I get my hands on some of this? Right.
Yeah.
And so we're really doing these types of things where we're following and listening. Our funnel is an anticipated conversation. Right. And we're saying what would happen here at this point. And so they're not points of transaction for us. They're points of engagement. They're an ongoing conversation that perpetuates this relationship.
That is a great little nugget. If anybody listening to this thing, that is the points of engagement. To think about it that way is a great way to frame that. Yeah.
Really. And, for me, and I look at that thing over your right shoulder, and that like scares the crap out of me. That's like looking in one of the old phone rooms and saying, hey, with all the wires coming out, somebody's saying, go in and fix the phone. You're going,
right.
But it's just, what it is. Then you call the guy, and the guy goes in there, and he like makes turns the switch and says that'll be $200.
Right.
But it's about gaining that familiarity with what that thing is, with what that map is, and really identifying what success looks like within that map and being able to uncover it. And that's what you guys have done such a great job in anything that I've worked with you guys. But with hard goods, because you do have that cost in every single thing you do. So if you're giving something away for free, which I, by the way, wholeheartedly endorse, give your stuff away. There's, the best way for you to share the value of your product is to have somebody experience it. And the best way to get somebody to experience it is to give it away for free.
100%.
Now, you can't give cars away for free, but you sure as hell can, test drive. And that's what the test
drive it around the block. Yeah.
But we're talking about food. We're talking about consumer products, something that they're going to eat, and then they've got to get some more. This is the thing where you can really start that engagement, because you started out by giving somebody something. You're dealing in that reciprocity area, And believe me, we're far from perfect in this thing. We screwed up big time in our first funnel, giving away a lot of food. But we've learned. I've learned. I've had a $30,000 lesson. And I promise you that $30,000 lesson will not happen again. There will be more lessons.
Yeah.
But there will be a $30,000 lesson.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed. I hope so. Yeah.
The people around me won't allow it, right? But it's just one of those things. And at least when I'm making it, I guess I'll know I'm making it. But, but it's that when you're giving this product away and having people experience it, that moment of engagement, appropriate engagement that guides and perpetuates this relationship through, don't even start giving hard goods away. Don't even start dealing with a conversation that you're trying to get somebody to buy something if they're not going to have a chance to experience it. And I can't think of a better way and a more cost-effective way than to create a good, solid, perpetual funnel that has appropriate calls to action. Sorry. That was my wife. She was just calling to say.
She heard what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. But
you were saying the calls to action.
Perpetual call to, there's appropriate calls to action. I'm going to just turn this thing on vibrate real quick.
No
Sorry
problem.
about that.
No problem.
This is real time, right?
Yeah.
The unedited version.
The unedited interview. Yes. Uncensored. Yeah.
But so there's this conversation, and I get more people that want to go faster than I do. And I think that that's really cool what you can do in a funnel as well, is if what you have is highly valuable and you can actually go real granular in almost slower pace than your customer is willing to go, you're going to have them now eager. Instead of just willing to see what they're eager to see what you've got.
You're flipping the script, yeah.
Yeah, and so that to me is without a good, solid online or social funnel where you can start to engage with a segmented customer base that this person, like when I did my ads, right, and Brian helped me do an ad, it was like, okay, let's obviously I'm going barbecue, food channel, He's like, okay, but it's fall now, so Fighting Irish, it's like all over the country, so Notre Dame, Fighting Irish football, boom, 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 boom. So we started talking about who are the people that are grilling, instead of just grill, where are these people? And he helped me find it. And now we're able to engage this conversation because those are me, right? What do you do that makes you the best in the world in the eyes of your customer?
Right.
Your answer is, I am you. And I've been there before. I've experienced these things. And so now I'm sharing it with you. And that's another thing. For me, in the hard goods thing, or even in any kind of a sales pursuit, I cringe, and I might be upsetting you or somebody else. I cringe when somebody says, how can I help you?
Right.
I hate that. Because for me,
the first instinct is just back up. Like,
yeah. Why did you helping me become my burden? Right?
Right.
So why not show me something? Like, why not be the guy? Like, if you know your customer so well that you know the moves they're going to make, you know where they want to go, you know what they're saying to themselves, right? Why wouldn't you then say, you know what, Scott? I just saw this article. I just saw this recipe. I just saw this thing, and I thought of you, and I want to share it with you.
Right.
Instead of how can I help you? This is how I'm helping you.
Right.
Whether you know it or not, you're going to dig this.
And that's all you guys are doing with your nurture sequence. You guys are having that conversation over and over on autopilot. Right. Yeah.
That's it. And you know what? And so, when I see and I get excited because you know what? People go, oh God, you're such a great whatever. Anything about cooking. It's like complete, like I don't even have the hair on the side of my hands right now. Stupid thing I did the other day.
Busy 4th of July weekend.
But you tell me, you're like, dude, those scallops on the half shell, like, were crazy. And when I'm eating something like that and I'm going, oh man, the second I have that emotion, I know that there's a bunch of my friends that share that exact same thing. And now I have an opportunity to kind of look cool in front of my friends, but they have an opportunity to look cool in front of their friends by putting something like this
exactly
together. And so that's it.
100%.
I mean, help them make a decision, then help them understand why they look smart by making that decision, because there's two reasons why we do stuff, right? There's the reason we tell people, and then the real reason. And so why not address both of those things? And for us in the hard goods, it's no different, but you've got more skin in the game. You can't just do spray and pray. You really do need to have a coherent, organized sequence of what's going to happen and how you're going to guide your customer along the path to the money without seeming pushy or,
that guy that keeps coming up to you at the party asking you to buy.
Pitch.
Right.
It's exactly. I mean, that's it. The guy that sits he's got a folio case in on Wall Street in New York, and he pulls a table out in the middle of the busiest parts of the day and just stands there and says, "Want to buy? Want to buy? Want to buy? Want to buy?" He's not selling. He's just offering. And that's what we got to do. We've got to be able to engage. And that's where this funnel sequence really, really comes in. Because, again, like Brian said, you can do it one time to thousands of people.
Exactly. Yeah. You were having a one-on-one conversation via email, piece by piece, right? Yep. And that's freaking genius. So anybody who wants to see this in action, all you guys out there, physical product people, check out wildthingsseafood.com. And more than just that, even if it's the other side of the marketing stuff, if you're looking for good seafood, I can personally recommend Wild Things Seafood as a great place to go get your next couple of steaks or some fillets or something.
Thank you.
No, it's awesome. So, Jeff, real quick, we'll just touch real quick on what are the results that you've seen from this? You guys have this in place now. And what does it look like now that you have something like this in place for your business?
It's it's an evolution, and so where we've probably in the last 2 years we've quintupled our business. This holiday season, our business with our gift packages, the Wild Things Wow that we're just rolling out, will probably do $200,000-$300,000 just in December. So, that's a big deal. But I'm able to transcend. Scott, we talked about Wild Things, but International Pacific Seafoods is our business-to-business deal. We're constantly doing nurture sequences there, not as automated as we want them to be because we're starting a new newsletter. But there's calls to action within these newsletters and really creating that level of preeminence within our own industry, where we're telling people
B2B,
where we're telling people what's going on, what does it mean to you, and what should you do about it now, sooner, eventually. No jargon. And oh, by the way, if you need to talk to anybody about this, click. They'll call our office, right, or they'll send us an email. Half the time, it's about seafood that doesn't have anything to do with us, but we know who it can, and so now all of a sudden we become the connector on this thing, and we're able to have
you're the catalyst to make it
generate a joint venture or some kind of equity in the deal.
Awesome. So that's freaking awesome. So Jeff, thank you. That was freaking a perfect thing to go share with people who are out there doing physical stuff and people who are out there being the B2B side even. I mean, gosh, look how applicable something like this is. And personally, if anybody, again, go check out wildthingsseafood.com. You're going to see Jeff as one of the most generous dudes. You're going to see exactly what he's doing and how the giving away of things for free and sharing and can totally flip the script like we've talked about in a sales world, really. I mean, you can absolutely be the guy that comes out on top while not being the guy constantly shoving and pushing and, being that sales guy over and over again. So awesome.
All righty.
Awesome. Perfect. Jeff, appreciate the words, man. Thanks for taking the time out.
My pleasure, and good luck with everything.
Absolutely. Yep.